The Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel Scum.
Boom! Rebel Scum, episode 350. I'm Brock. This is
James NAWOO0D.
And once again, Heidi Feathers here, executive producer. Merry Christmas, everyone, or post-Christmas, whatever. It's Christmas.
And also for those of us who don't live in the U.S., happy belated Boxing Day.
Yeah.
That's the big holiday here. It's Boxing Day. It's a big one.
Well, that's why our episode's so late, because we're like, we don't need to talk about Skeleton Crew until
I was
later
so
on.
pissed, Brock. I was so pissed. I was we went to families on Christmas Eve. We get in, and I got Heidi was one, but there was like 3 or 4 DMs. Best episode yet. Can't believe they did it. And I was like, I'm not watching this for 2 days.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna say anything to you till you say something to me. And I was like, well, he's already had it spoiled. So I was like, yeah, it was pretty good.
Everyone just kept saying, no one told me what happened. I will give credit where credit's due to every single. Everyone said how good it was. So Christmas morning, because Selena's only 2, she's not like waking up excited about it. Like, she was excited when she saw it, but she didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
So my dog got me up super early to do its business. And I was like, blessing in disguise. Let's turn on some Skeleton Crew. So I turned it on and I got about halfway through it in the morning and I finished it at night after. Nice. But the first half, I was like, this is real. Like, I was like, this is so good. And then I heard Selena like, Santa. And I was like, okay, turn it off, put on the Arendelle fireplace, and let's go.
What did you think, Heidi? Were you happy with this week's episode?
I thought it was great. And I just want to say the only thing I spoiled for James was that it took place at a resort. But other than that,
I honestly don't even think I clued into that, to be honest, because I kind of like it was a busy couple of days.
I wanted to rewatch it today because I was like, oh, am I going to remember all the details? But I definitely want to watch it. I would argue this episode has the most like world building in a long time, where it's just like little things where you're like, that's all I need. That's all I need.
I would argue it felt like the world building and lore building of Obi-Wan, but done, I thought, better.
Yeah,
it was like, no offense to Obi-Wan, but I thought this one kind of like it just kind of handled it better. I thought, I don't know how to describe it other than that, but I was really like, oh, Star Wars. So spoilers if you haven't seen episode 5, go tell the pirates your babysitter's dead or whatever it's called.
yeah, I just learned that each episode is a line in the episode, so it's you got a lot to learn about pirates, but
I
was watching it thinking, now I think Disney World knows what to do with the old Star Cruiser Hotel.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, that is what you said, right? Duh.
And you said I haven't seen it yet. Like, okay.
Yeah. I mean that. Yeah. Can you imagine? Like they end up on a resort, which is hilarious. Like, I like how it's turning the trope on its head. It's not just like, we're pirates, let's go do pirate stuff. It's like, no, you were pirates and where you landed was something else. And now, so it's like they're expecting to go to like some kind of skull-shaped cavern, but it's a resort. That'd be beautiful. Like, that's so easy to just drop that on Galaxy's Edge, no problem.
I love how disappointed Smee was.
Oh yeah, I love that. He kept getting angry and kept getting shocked. That's interesting because we've never seen exactly what the restriction bolt has done before.
Yeah.
On them. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, I feel like you've read about restraining bolts, but like actually seeing it, it's like there's a lot. I feel like there's a bunch of moments in this series where you're just like, oh, that's what it's like. Okay, gotcha. I was just happy to see a Hut in live action again. I'm like, finally. I think we haven't had one yet. So like, this is great.
Well, no, we did. Are you talking about now, or because there were two in Obi-Wan? In fact, they had the
Do they?
Boba Fett. Boba
yeah,
Fett had them.
Boba Fett. I'm sorry. I don't know
Oh
if it's
yeah.
but he had the gang tattoo
Mm.
of the two twins in Book of Boba Fett. I was just thinking of Kino Loy, the little animal who was serving the hut, and he eats
Yeah.
them. No, not again. I'm thinking, oh, there's only one way out. No, not again. So he's gone through this again, and there was only one way out of there.
Star Wars Instagram feed keeps putting like little things out for this show, and I think they keep talking to the guy that did all the like audio, like not mastering, but like all the sound effects. And I think he said like the sound of like the big green thing. No, I thought it was the Hut. I feel
The
like
Hulu?
he said he used the sound of spaghetti being twirled up for that sound of the big green guy that that helped them get into the cavern they're looking for. It's just like, I'm like, Star Wars, like maybe it's just because I started following them. I'm like, this is great. Like they should have more of this stuff like just popping up on your feed.
I follow them. I don't see any of that. What I see are how my ads on Instagram are for the Acolyte.
Well, it's not
so
ads.
strange.
It's like
no, I
the
know,
actual
but like,
feed.
but the ads are what they're promoting. It's just no, yeah. You know what? My algorithm is so messed up that I will see friends posts from like 4 days prior. So I'll see these Star Wars things like in a month from now, probably. I don't know what goes on. I'll see something like, oh, that's hilarious. They should have posted that 2 days ago. And then I look down 2 days ago. I'm like, well, there you go. Heart.
Yeah, it's just interesting because the character, I forget his name, but it's close to Cthulhu, and it's obviously based on Cthulhu. But Cthulhu, he's not the devil, but he's like an evil god who breeds human women or something. I don't know. But so he's like not Cthulhu at all, but he looked like Cthulhu, and his name is close to Cthulhu.
Yeah, much more friendly, if anything. But yeah, like this entire episode was great. Like just character, like just the hijinks of like, well, no kids allowed. It's like we'll pretend you're like tiny dignitaries or something, cover your faces.
Which is something again they did better than Obi. It's almost like they saw Obi-Wan do stuff and they're like, okay, let's do that. But we've learned from Obi-Wan. I thought that was great. Like it's just so stupid. I'm like, I like it. That's the point of this, right? It's like having fun. And like the thing with this episode is like you can break it down, but until the end, is there anything to break down? Do you know what I mean? Like okay, there's things to talk about, but it's not that kind of show. It's not like a show with spoilers necessarily. It's kind of like just like, I mean, there is this one, the ending definitely, but like for the most part, and this isn't a slight on it. This is like I think probably a positive because it's just a good show that relies on its characters and its surroundings. And you're like, oh yeah, remember when it was like this? And it didn't rely on what's going to happen next. It's like, we're far in the season where now they can do that, but they didn't start that way. Like, you know, they start off with the adventure. They're out there. You're like, okay, all right, we're doing it. Like, and they've relied on the characters, on the writing, and of the planets and the lore, and it's been like refreshing to see for me.
Yeah, no, it's been a great series. I think I texted this to you, James, that like it's definitely a show that you probably can just watch, a binge watch sort of thing. It's like, and I'm looking forward to seeing Reham's response to this because I said you should watch this. Like she's a teacher, so she's like, kids are the main focus. No, thank you. But like, I'm like, this show's pretty good. Now she's never seen the Goonies, so it's like she might not appreciate some of the hijinks and like how are these kids still alive when they get into these issues? But like, I think it was interesting. I mean, there's enough in this show to keep you interested. Like, again, it's like here's JOD doing Force stuff, and you're like, well, what are you? And it's like, oh, so it's like it's interesting that like the hypothetical of where we could be going. You know, I mean, we could talk about every single detail, but it's just like I really hope they stick the landing on this because it's like if you can get a show about kids that get lost in space to be the most interesting Star Wars thing in a long time, like that's something to talk about.
Well, they say it's a kid show, but I feel sorry for the parents who now have to explain what a concubine is.
Yeah.
I will say it was probably the funniest episode up until the end. I mean, the end got
Yeah.
dark.
Which is good storytelling.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
strung us along and then they pulled the rug out from under us. But it worked because we bought into it because they were honest about it, right? It wasn't like a forced anything. It was like they told us every week, they've told us John NAWOO0D's going to turn on these kids. Everyone has said it to them.
Yeah.
Every person the kids have meet have been like, don't trust that guy. And they keep trusting him and he gives them reason to trust, which I still think he's Long John Silver. And I think that's where his story is going. Or not going, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm really curious. We have to get to JOD, NAWOO0D, Silvo, Dash Rendar, whatever. All these names that he came up with that everyone knows him by. Because is he a Jedi? Is he just a Force? I think he's a Jedi. Like, I think he was a Jedi at some point, and he's not anymore. And I think that's all because he knows too much. Like the Qui-Gon line, obviously, that he gives to Wim. Your focus determines your reality. He has good moments with the kids, and I think they're genuine moments. And I think he does care about the kids. And there's a reason why he did what he did, but not to skip. We should skip ahead, but because that lightsaber moment, guys, I've been saying we've had every time we asked that Wim was going to use a Force by the end of it, and I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'm like,
and then
don't.
I wasn't hoping for it either, but I was like, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna have to gloat. And then when he did what he did, I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, that was just exactly what should happen. And it was like everything about it was done so well that I really started to fall for it. And then when they again pulled the rug out of me again, I was like, you bastards, you got me. And I had a good chuckle. And it was also like genuinely, yeah, if I got a hold of a lightsaber, that's totally what I would do and what they would do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he was a full Jedi. He was definitely a Padawan, and I think whoever trained him probably was trained by Qui-Gon Jinn, because he pretty much said to him what Qui-Gon said to Anakin. And actually what he said like a perverted version of what the Jedi said to when he was talking to Wim. It was pretty much a perverted version of what the Jedis always say to the Padawans about letting things go and not letting things hold you back.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the backstory of JOD is, because do we think we're ever gonna get his real name? I don't know. Maybe.
I think his real name is JOD NAWOO0D.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest name ever.
I know. This is I've never heard this. I never even thought of this one before because I'm not a thinker. My Vermont Mike saying I think he's the Star Wars universe version of Star-Lord. Maybe he was taken by pirates as a young boy before the Jedi discovered him. So he's kind of got like unhinged force powers, which, and he's probably seen Jedi use them and he understands. And I like that idea, actually.
Yeah, it's like, why can't we exist in a world where people that are force sensitive figure out how to do something?
Nobody wants to see this, okay?
So,
I don't know. I'm really curious to see where they go with him. Yeah, is that his like? The only reason I think JOD NAWOO0D is his actual name is because I think he's genuine with the kids for the most part. I think he's very honest with them, and that's the name on the toy at the store.
Oh, it's on the store.
Yeah, it's on the toy. But I do actually think he has been very genuine with the kids until the end. I think he's been genuine with the kids because I think he needed until the end of this their trust to get him to the AT-AT. Like he needed them, so I think he was being genuine with them, like being honest with them. At the same time, though, he was doing that to use them. That's what I think. I could be way wrong, and I hope I am, because when I'm wrong, you get a lightsaber shot into the ground, which is way better than him using it. So
I think, yeah, like it's very interesting, this character, and it's like it's a character that by himself, I'm like, yeah, who cares? He's a scoundrel. Like, it's whatever. We get it. Those are a dime a dozen. But working in this like collection of characters is like, it's very interesting because it's like we know as much about AT-AT as we know about JOD, and who he really is. You know what I mean? So it's like that's very cool. I mean, this episode, yes, we do get the parents trying to like sneak off at Atten, right?
First time I liked the parents in this series, to be honest. Like first time I was like, okay, I was like, I guess when it cut to them at the beginning, I was like, kind of like, this is the best episode with the parents. And then when the whole thing went down about, I was like, I like that. Okay, I'm good with this.
I fully foresee after the how many episodes is this? 8?
Yeah, so 3 left.
It's 8. So it's just like I know I'm gonna say the same at the end of this series and be like, they could have made one more show or made these longer. I can already feel it. Like it's just like I think it's working the way they're doing it right now, but like the same note, it's like you're like, come on, give me more. Or I don't know. I would be totally if they were like, oh, we're done the series. Here's extended versions of the episode. And I'm like, I am in immediately. So
have you felt the episodes have felt short? I haven't. I felt like they've all kind of felt just right so far.
I don't think they're short per se. I think they're great. They're making, but like I think I'm gonna want more Skeleton Crew when it's all said and done.
Like I know, like I knew he was gonna do that thing where raise your hand, show me behind your back, and goes, show me behind your other hand, like that. Like that's just an old like kids show Looney Tunes trope. I knew he was gonna do that, but it was still funny to watch.
Yeah.
And also, I was amused because I got like 90s computer vibes with the
I'm always like, it's always got to look weird because that Star Wars has to exist in a specific aesthetic, I suppose.
Yeah, like I like you said, you knew he was going to betray them, but you didn't know how intense it was going to be.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, and I wasn't expecting in episode 5 either.
This is why I think that suburban look is working, because they come from your house, Brock, your house, Heidi. Like they come from just like a regular neighborhood, and now they're out there. And the whole thing is, she said, remember what Fern says to him when he's like, what does he say? He's like, just surrender and I won't have to kill you. And he's got the knife to her throat. And he's like, surrender, I won't have to kill you. And she's like, you can't hurt me. I'm a kid. You're the adult. You don't. Yeah. And it's like, they don't understand. First, their planet is like isolated, but they don't understand. They're not from like dangerous outer rim worlds or all that. They don't understand. So I think, all of that is starting to play into these kids' naivete. I can't speak. But so it's like, I'm like, I kind of like it, and it's working. And these kids are so honest, and they're trying to be, and they're kids, so they're trying to be something that they are not.
Yeah, I like how this is kind of like a hiding in plain sight sort of thing. Like this planet, they can't find the planet, but it's just like they live on a planet. They're like, everything's fine. It's like little do they know there's something going on behind, where we get the idea of like, this is where money is created. This episode, it's a mint. So it's like, obviously for a pirate, like that's a huge score. But then also like the cabin or caverns they're looking for is literally in like a salt bath or something. Like, so I like this idea of like everything can just sort of exist if you look in the right direction. So I love this show. I can't wait till the next episode.
It is like you said though, Bracken, from what Mike's saying, it's like, just stick that landing though. You just like all this goodwill everyone's having towards it is gone if they just flub that ending. They're like, wait for season 2, and then they're like, ratings weren't high enough, it's canceled. You're like, well, I hope when it ends we're like, that was a fun ride. That was a good story. But also to your point, why isn't it? Well, but this is less of a binge show than most Star Wars shows, I think, because it is episodic. I still think it would probably work better as a binge. Yeah, which makes me say, I love this show, but just make a damn movie, man. Just make a movie.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
Just make a movie. Like, come on. Like,
I'm gonna see the 3rd Sonic movie tomorrow night. I'm like, it's like, come on.
I saw a conspiracy theory online that Ugly Sonic was never in the movie. They just did it for the fans to feel like they were a part of it, make it a big hit. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Probably right. That's not a bad thing, dude. I can't wait for Sonic 3.
Yeah,
the movies are fun.
I honestly, like, total side Akbar, like I feel like that is marketing now for movies and TVs. Like we have to have some kind of massive outcry on the internet, good or bad. You know, it's like you got Sonic with teeth, you got Barbenheimer, you got this whole Blake Lively whatever with that ends with us, and it's like what, and then everything that is Wicked is just like is very interesting. Maybe Sonic. Could you imagine? That'd be an amazing book in like 20 years. It's like the prototype of this mentality of marketing was Sonic. We created a pretend thing.
I saw Wicked, and I haven't done much singing, which is makes Aaron very happy. But we did give Selena a microphone with a speaker, so it's happening. But I will say, Ariana Grande crushed that movie. She was.
Sure.
I was like, I knew she, like they were like they're all good. Obviously, did you see it, Brock? You haven't seen it?
No, not yet.
Oh,
not really my point, but okay.
No, I'm side Akbaring your side Akbar. Anyway, she should be in Star Wars. She should be in Star Wars. That's my point. A musical Star Wars.
I will say, if it comes to Toronto with a live show, you should go see it.
It did.
It did,
I think
20 years ago?
No, it was here recently for like a month or so. But yeah, no, my wife's seen it, and I'm like, oh, we should go next time it comes here. So
yeah, I saw it on Broadway. It's amazing.
Oh, nice.
My sisters took my mom to see it with the original cast in Toronto. Like 20,
Oh, wow.
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It was 20, whatever. So it was the Broadway show in Toronto. So it was almost as good, but not quite Heidi. Still not Broadway. But yeah, they were like, they saw it and they're like, oh, it was amazing. And I was like, singing witches. But that'll never be a hit movie. And I laughed.
No, not ever.
Movies
I,
then.
I have a kind of a crazy theory about
Okay.
Do it.
maybe because I used to because I saw the Battlestar Galactica reboot in the early 2000s. What if they're all droids and they don't know it?
Did you say this last? Did you message that to me? Or did you tweet that? You've said that. Yeah. Okay. I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, so I'm gonna.
There was some.
Well, I was just about to start my binge of it tonight.
Really?
No, it was no. That's an interesting one. You know what? You have another one that I like better, so I'm gonna go.
Okay.
No.
I'm just
because I like your other. I like your other one. The other one that you have.
It can still be connected, but no, I'm just saying, because look at KB, maybe, or maybe they think everybody's androids like, maybe they're androids and they think everybody's androids like them. Because how are they able to be tracked so quickly when they go missing, like right away? Like when he fell down that cliff, the truant droids knew where to find him.
They have Apple AirTags in their bags.
Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they have microchips like the clones did. I don't know, but I'm.
Yeah, no, I think, there's something. It's more than just, it's like at Atten is where they make money. It's not just that. It has to be more than that, because it's just like they're not told things, and they're conditioned into a society where it's just like, don't question why you're doing what you're doing. And if anything, these kids aren't trying to escape their planet. They just happen to fall on this space, the starship underground, hiding in plain sight. It's like, Vermont Mike's right. This has like a very like Lost vibe to it with the Dharma Initiative. I love it. So droids, I could totally get behind that, or clones or something like that. Even though
what's the Dharma Initiative?
It's the scientific research that's on the island in Lost. And they were the others, but then you find out that it's just scientists trying to keep the survivors of the plane unaware of what's going on.
Sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It's close.
J.J. Abrams.
It was J.J. Abrams, so
Here we go.
Oh, no.
I haven't seen. I don't. I honestly. I think everyone thinks I'm lying when I say I watched a lot of TV, but I haven't watched a lot of TV.
It's true. He hasn't.
I've seen How I Met Your Mother.
Awesome.
I mean, I don't know, like, because JOD, he needs the kids, because he needs the pirates, because if he just shows up in a ship by himself, I don't care if he's a Jedi and has a lightsaber, and he says, I'm trying to purge your planet of gold, they're just going to shoot him out of the sky. So I don't care how powerful Jedi he might be, he's going to. Like, I think he killed Urkel. I don't know if Urkel survived.
I don't think he's dead, and I'll tell you why. because there's a shot in one of the trailers where you see him on that planet outside. So either that's a deleted shot, or it's coming up in the next episode. And I think it's coming up because I think it's a shot of him spinning around as the ship takes off.
Ah, I see.
So not to spoil it for anybody, because I also thought he was dead. Then I was like, wait a minute, because when they first landed on that planet, I'm like, oh, that's the planet from that trailer where Urkel turns around, and that never happened. And then they all die. I'm like, so I mean, it could that could have been something that they deleted though. That could be something that's not in the.
Well, I mean, he's part cybernetic, so maybe that's how he survived. Because SM-33 was able to step in the acid.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I get behind
man.
that. Yeah, like. No, go ahead.
Thank goodness Brutus wasn't there.
No, I was just saying. I forgot. Star Trek androids or droids compared to Star Wars. Star Wars droids have motion, so I really think SM-33 really did not want to allow JOD to battle.
Oh, interesting.
He's just saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Nick Frost really carried this episode with his characterization. Just like SM-33, just I gotta use my violence. Just that is great. And then realizing is oh wait, these kids don't know what they're getting into right now. And yeah.
Because I was curious, because if he gets his memory back, then he's got to know that Fern did not kill the captain. So technically,
Smee's playing everybody. There's more to that ship though. That ship is going. There's a lot more to that ship that we're not. They haven't even. I think this was the very first episode, 5 episodes in, where they mentioned kind of a mystery. Or was it last week? It was the first time we ever kind of got. There's more to the ship. We all, I think, assumed there was, but now we're getting confirmation. There's more to the ship than and then you're gonna need to know. So I'm excited. They're doing a really good job with spinning us in this hamster wheel of the show.
How does it end again? I can't even remember. We never see the captain? We just figure out that it's the mint is on Adam, right?
Yeah, and it ends with JOD picking up the lightsaber and the kids.
I guess we have the skull. People assume that's the captain. There's different theories. The captain's now the supervisor.
Yeah.
There's also the captain's the mouse theory.
Oh my god!
I love that.
Oh my god!
Which adds to my theory that the mouse droids aren't actually droids; they're actually cars with mouse side.
Oh my god! Who came up with a theory that the mouse was the captain?
It's just been going around.
That whoever came up with it though needs Disney hire that person. They should make
that could make sense because they could just be this small little thing and pretend to be this big guy and maybe that. I don't know, but I know if you don't a lot of times in storytelling, if there's a character and you can't see their face, a lot of times the character turns out to be a woman.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Kind of leads my never told you.
I fully think that the captain, there's way more to it, and I don't know if the captain is still alive, he or she, but I think that there's definitely the supervisor. I'm yeah. I mean, well, also the supervisor could just be some kind of super droid that's controlling all of it, right? So,
but I mean, it's interesting because JOD idolizes this captain the same way that Wim idolizes the Jedi.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Have they dropped what time period this captain lives in? You know what I mean? Is he did JOD actually meet this person, or is it just
no? It sounded like it was a myth.
A myth, right? So it's
to me, it kind of felt like how Wim views the Jedi. He viewed this Captain Pirate. Yeah. And you know what? This show, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned this a few weeks ago because I didn't know this, but I read it. So I'm not taking credit. But it was originally rumored to be taking place in the High Republic. Right. So it could be a High Republic ship. And that planet could be High Republic era maybe too, because of all the droids and everything on there look a little bit more modern than they should be after the reign of the Empire, right? Or even before the High Republic. So I mean, so it could have never been the High Republic, but there could have been elements of the High Republic in there, and whoever scooped it had misinformation.
Yeah, because it's like we really don't like SM33 is our only like real line of knowledge, and he doesn't have all of it. So it's like he could think it's one date when he's been turned off for like 200 years, 300 years. That's why I know I've said this already about this show. I'm like, I really like when droids get put in that position where you're like, we have the knowledge, but we're unaware where we exist in the timeline.
Yeah, I think he's probably one of my favorite characters
Mm-hmm.
of the show. And like the opening was hilarious when they're like scared to turn him on. It's like as soon as they turn him on, he just breaks the
He
restraints.
broke right free. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, the rope. That rope's amazing.
But he answered their questions first and then broke free. I was like, so good. You know what? When they first announced that Jordan, like Nick Frost, was going to voice him, I was like, all right, let's see what we got here. And I forget that it's Nick Frost. Nick Frost isn't like an A-lister, right? He's what, B, C. Like he's not like, his voice also isn't, Morgan Freeman's voice where you can spot it right. But he's doing an impression too, like I think, he's like the character and the voice and the design, it's all working so perfectly together that I'm like, I like this Jordan. And like you said, his peg leg with his limp. I'm like, damn, he's so perfect. I just like, where are the toys for this?
I don't know.
Where's the app game where you play Smee the pirate robot doing some stupid adventure, finding Candy Crush or something? Like how are they not marketing this character at all?
I don't know.
I will say up until the heel turn at the end that this show could have been just Shmi and the kids. I'm not saying that Jude Law doesn't add to it, but you could have done a show with just me and the kids. But now with the heel turn, it takes the show to a whole new level.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's friggin' Jude Law. It's like you gotta win him over. I don't think he has kids I know he has children, but they're probably closer to adults by now, I think. I don't think he's like, I gotta make one for my kids. Like, I think he's doing this because outside of working for Disney is always probably a smart move, but it's just like they probably won him over with this is a character. This is a real cool character that you might actually sink your teeth into as an actor. So it's like I feel like there's like just a heel turn. It's great, especially how you executed it. Like there's gonna definitely be more. Like it's great.
It was shot really well too.
Mm-hmm.
The heel turn was shot so well.
I even like when they're in the suite and the kids are like, "Oh, can we check out the buffet now?" He's like, "We're not checking out the buffet."
Yeah, we're not going to the buffet, but I want to go to the buffet. I say we say it every week. It's just like we forget that they're kids for like a couple scenes. They're like, "Oh, right."
Yeah,
they're kids.
So I think the woman behind the counter was from Better Call Saul. I don't watch that show, but apparently.
All right, Vermont Mike, spoiler alert. Never seen Better Call Saul. I have seen all of Breaking Bad, though. I have seen Breaking Bad.
And Pocket, I guess is her name. She's the same actress who voices Mara in Brave.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Brave. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I've only seen part of Brave. Is that a problem? That's not part. She turns into a bear, right?
It works. Well, she doesn't.
Somebody turns. That's Brother Bear.
Yeah, Brother Bear.
Joaquin Phoenix. Brother Bear.
Nice. Yeah.
She's in Harry Potter as well. I have seen Harry Potter, Vermont Mike. I own all of them on Blu-ray. On the Blu-ray. Don't worry. Own them all. I've never read the books though.
Mm-hmm.
I have to prove my nerd cred again.
Do you? You have a podcast about Star Wars. I think you're good.
Yeah, but apparently I've never seen anything.
Oh, apparently. Well, you do watch 3 things.
Was that the longest episode at 45 minutes?
Oh, good question.
It was either this one or the first episode. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I did tell you that. I did tell you it was going to be 45 minutes.
Yeah,
did you call that?
Yeah, I was actually happy because I was going to actually tweet. I'd be like, someone tell me the runtime so I could know if I could squeeze it in at any point, at any time. So I was glad that I knew how long it was. So I knew, like, when I heard the ruffling upstairs, I'm like, okay, I won't be able to finish this. So they gave me a heads up on everything.
Nice.
We got some quotes coming in.
Well, the other thing, we finally got them. They finally said, like, this is the ship is called this. What is it called? The Cinder. What was the ship called?
Onyx Cinder.
Onyx Cinder. I was like, yeah, there it is. Freaking Lego couldn't wait one more episode.
Well, you know what? I was watching some people react to it, like, oh, that's the name of the ship, the Onyx Cinder. And I typed in, I said, Lego dropped that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I should just blame you, Heidi, because I had
July
no clue
4th.
until you said something.
July 4th, it leaked.
Oh my god!
Right? Half a year ago, it leaked.
That Lego doesn't like this. Like they gotta stop with this. Like it leaks. I'm like, come on. After the first 3 times this happens, like they're letting this happen.
I think they are. I don't think the name of the ship is going to be a big issue. Although if we Google Onyx Cinder, it's probably like, in the High Republic times, the Onyx Cinder carried mint, and they were ambushed by pirates, and the pirates went back to find where the ship was from. You guys want to go to the odds?
Let's do it.
Okay, it's going to take me a second here. Never tell me the odds. And go here and there.
Possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Brought to all of us by patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, why don't you head over to patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. Support us any way you can. We love it. We love talking about Star Wars. We bring people on. We bring cats on. Fantastic. And you could be one of those people we shout out every episode, like Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Shooter Thrawn, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Dale Erdman, Phil Staniforth, Rez, Scott D,
Josh Price, Matt W, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Denim Nerds, Disney, Desi, Charlotte, Ron Prisek, and Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so very much. We really appreciate it. And this is for you. Our first 2 odds come to us from executive producer Heidi Feder. And I just copy and pasted them. So if they sound weird, I'm sorry, because I didn't rewrite them because I just did it before he went live. What are the odds that JOD didn't do a heel turn? What if he knew the only way to safely get the kids home was to take over as captain? Fern doesn't trust him, so he wasn't going to just hand it over to him. He doesn't really know how to deal with children, but he knows how to deal with pirates. It's a well thought out odd. For the first time in 350 episodes, we have a well thought out.
No, it just popped in my head today. I was thinking about how it's heel turn. Like, well, wait a minute, he kind of had to, didn't he? Because she really.
Yeah, Brock, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go 71.111112%. I kind of think that's because I don't think it's gonna be a full out. I don't know if it's gonna be exactly the reason you're saying, Heidi, like he needed them, but I don't think it's a full heel turn. So I'm gonna go 71.111112%.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 80% because it's I mean, for him just like, I'm evil. It's like you fell into the scenario. You weren't like, I helped them find a ship that was buried under. Like, this all works out. I mean, I think he's a character that thinks fast on his feet, and that's why he's still alive after so many different identities. So, and like, regardless of us as adults being entertained by this show, this is for kids. So it's like, I think he's gonna like save the day at the end.
Yep.
I mean, I'm gonna go 60%, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think that's the most likely scenario. However, especially with the buildup and thinking the kid was going to use the lightsaber and save the day, and him, how intensely he did the heel turn and grab Fern and hold the knife to her throat, which I'm sure a lot of kids are gonna have nightmares. I think this show has defies expectations, and so expectation may be for him to do a face turn, and so maybe that reason alone he won't do a face turn. But I do think it's the likely scenario. So that's why I'm going 60%. Even though I think it's the likely scenario, I'm going to go a little lower because even though I'd be shocked, I wouldn't exactly be that much surprised if he remained the villain the whole time.
Imagine Brutus ends up being the good guy and he saves the kids. But I got you to save the kids. I'm not after your treasure.
I think he's definitely going to be the Han Solo. But I think the kids are going to save the day at the end. But like, I think he'll redeem himself for sure.
Well, I noticed like Wim was wearing the captain's hat when they were the elders. So I wonder if that's like foreshadowing that Wim's going to end up being a captain.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. I thought he was Long John Silver from or whatever the octopus face in Pirates of the Caribbean. Or I'm like, that's
Davy
like,
Jones.
Yeah, Davy Jones. That's it.
Oh, the monkeys.
The monkey? What are you monkeys?
That's from the 60s. One of the members was named Davy Jones.
Oh, they don't even wear their own hats. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's who's the guy that? Davy Jones from Pirates. Like just the like canvas, whatever thing on his face that looked like he was supposed to be that character. I'm like, that's fantastic. But yeah, captain's hat for sure.
The next ad from Heidi as well. The concubines survived the crash along with Hammerhead and the Blue Elephant. I think they're the surviving crew with the 3 people in the arm mural.
I'm sorry, I probably just hit the wrong. Yeah, the mural.
The mural.
There's
I thought it was just mural, but then I was like, did I miss something about an R?
No, you're not saying an extra R. No, there's a woman with the hammerhead and the blue elephant.
Yeah,
so maybe they're this way, But I'm also wondering why did this robot have a babysitting mode? Was there a kid?
Oh,
was she pregnant? I don't know. All these thoughts go through my head.
I like that idea but the only problem I have is like, but why is there like this like what do you call what their city is like, this like contained bubble? It's like if these people crash on, but I want to say the odds are 75%. I'm like, wow. That would be beautiful if like it's just all a series of misunfortunate events. It's just like all just like I think it'd be amazing.
I'm gonna go 67, but I really like it as well. I would go higher, but I don't know if that's where they're going with it. But I really like this. Is the one that when you mentioned the droid thing, how they're all might be all droids. This is the idea. I'm like, I like this one way better.
That's why.
And I'm not going 60% because how much I like it. It's because of how much I think they'll do it. But I'm good to be wrong again.
I'm gonna go full rock. Another thing about the droids, I noticed were there any old people on this planet? I'm wondering like if they just recycle. If there are androids and they break down, but they just recycle them. Maybe that's why you don't want to.
There are adults and children though.
Yeah, but they're like old people.
Yeah.
Maybe they reset though. Like nobody ages and no one gets bigger. Like I was just thinking like, but their children, do they grow? Do they age at all? And they just reset them at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go full Brock because I could be way off. And
I think there's something. There's that mural. Like that mural is like that's something.
Yeah, there's a human woman. Why is that mural there? And it's like talked about the concubine. He didn't say the concubine didn't survive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's something up because like the captain. What's the name of the captain? He says it dash.
No, it's Task Renard.
Yeah, I thought it was Dash.
I can't remember.
He's trying to be Dash. No, the girl Pocket, the extremely pale girl.
Yeah, KB.
Call him Dash something.
Oh, no,
Dash Renard. Dash something else. Like,
yeah. It was like that.
But I guess the pirate named Tack Renard or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's actually in Wikipedia. That's actually from Legends, but it's a different character. You'd have to look it up.
But anyways, the reason I bring it up is like he destroyed the coordinates to Aten. So he's very aware of something on this planet. So maybe the planet existed in its weird like bubble, and then he crashed on. He gets there, and then takes over. So it's like this could all really, like, all the things we're talking about really could work together. I'm like, maybe the people are like relatives of these pirates that got that, and like that would be really cool.
Yeah, I like that idea. The concubine is Moscow Pirate Queen of the Galaxy. I like that Wookiee. Brock, do you have news?
I do not.
Let us know your odds in the comments below. It's top 5 time. We're going top 5 Star Wars anti-heroes. Star Wars anti-heroes.
Is like before, is Han Solo on the list or not?
What do you guys want? I think no Han Solo. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, screw it. Han Solo's on the list.
Okay.
But it's Force Awakens Han Solo, so he's a hero. So he's not an anti-hero. Yeah, you can use him. My number 5 is going to be Bo-Katan.
I'm gonna put JOD as my number 5 because he's still new. So it's
Yeah.
the story's still in the works.
Yeah, it hasn't been written yet. Heidi?
I think I'm gonna go with oh god, I just thought about it. Boba Fett.
Nice.
My number 4 is going to be JOD NAWOO0D. JOD NAWOO0D is my number 4.
My number 4 is gonna be Din Djarin because it's like we kind of knew he would become the hero at some point, but there's points where he's like, I don't want anything to do with anybody but credits. So
I'm gonna go with Grief Karga.
Nice. Love it.
Nice.
Love it. My number 3 is going to be Boba Fett. Where?
We can put Han Solo on this.
I'm not going to, but yeah, you can.
All right, I'll put Han at number 3 just because like he is the prototype reluctant hero for this whole story.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go with Lando.
Nice. My number 2, I'm going to go with Cassian Andor. Cassian.
I didn't even think about him.
I mean, he's basically Han Solo. They're all basically Han Solo.
Yeah, basically. My number 2 is going to be Kanan Jarrett, the Kanan from Rebels. So, because like he so doesn't want to be anything for the first full season and a half, I would say. So,
I'm going to go with a controversial one, Darth Vader.
Ooh, okay. Heidi coming up with the odds and throwing us for a loop on the anti-hero. She's not wrong, though. My number 1 is going to be the Mandalorian Din Djarin. Dinathan Djarin.
My number 1's going to be Ahsoka because she loses complete faith in everything she believed in and still came back. I think that's why people really like that character. She's that plucky character that becomes this like Obi-Wan like person that you're like, wow, I need to know more.
I'm going to go with Solo era Han Solo.
Solo era. That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's a cheat, but you made it work. Let us know your top 5 in the comments down below and in the live chat if you're here. Oh, here we go. Dale's here saying Tak Renard found the mint under the school on Akron after the pirate invasion destroyed it. So he tried to take over Adden and died trying. Is that real?
I feel like that's a hypothetical. So then, like, well, that's interesting because it's no, it doesn't. I was just thinking because like the people at the spa were the banking colony or the banking clan. Yeah. So it's just like if all these at planets are just banks, that's interesting. But they're on a planet that had nothing to do with it. It just happened.
I'm wondering because I didn't see the movie because the movie's terrible. But as a kid, I loved the book A Stitch in Time. And they go to this planet and everything's just perfectly uniform. And it turns out that people being reprogrammed. So I think that's another reason the thought came to my head about these people just being like extremely evolved droids.
Yeah, because you're right. Because it's like we go to at Akron, and it's like they tried that and with real people, and it doesn't seem to have worked out. Yeah, you know what? The mention of Lost earlier in the show, I'm like, yeah, this has that kind of vibe of like this was a science experiment. I'm like, I am very into that idea. I hope in 3 episodes we can get an explanation of what these planets are, who JOD is, and there was something else that was like, or like I guess the pirate captain kind of fits in all of it.
Yeah.
And then maybe an explanation. Well, I guess explaining JOD will explain why he can do stuff with the Force. I don't know. I am very excited for the next 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know, is James gone for
he's
good?
probably gone forever. What are your thoughts for the next 3 episodes? Like, you've already shot out a couple of theories, but where do you think where's next episode gonna be?
I think they might actually make it home.
Like you,
Actually, I think what's gonna happen is I think I don't know. I don't know if I mean John's gonna have to work with the pirates. That's for sure. Whether he gets the kids back, I don't know. I think the New Republic's gonna be involved because the hotel's gonna call it New Republic because of all the crap that's going down, and also that owl lady called the New Republic. So they're gonna want to find that because they didn't know what's going on. They're gonna want to find what's going on. They want to find these kids. I know you guys are probably against this, but if you got bounty hunters looking for kids, who's going to take the call? It's going to be Din Djarin. I know.
Oh yes, that would be interesting.
Protect them because that's his Mandalorian blood. If he finds out there's kids being hunted by bounty hunters, you know, I know you said we don't want Grogu and Din Djarin in this, but it makes sense. It's kind of like when Luke Skywalker showed up at the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian. It seemed impossible, but it's the only thing that made sense. So I'm not saying I think it's going to happen. I'm just saying if you go with logic and you've got these bounty hunters looking for these kids, then Djarin's going to want to throw his hat in the ring. The Republic wants to find these kids at this point. So I don't know. But I think Cthulhu or whatever his name is, I think he's going to help the 4 kids escape because they went down to the pit. So that's probably where he is.
I love to just make friends with people along the way. It's just like, they're like, bye.
I think we go back to Ad next week.
Yeah.
I think it's going to start with the parents again. We're going to get that scene from the trailer with Wim's dad and Fern's mom, and they're like, no one's coming to help them. There's like that moment there in the trailer that I don't think we've seen yet. And when she's like, it's dangerous out there, whatever, we'll cut to them in the underground. And I think we're all coming home next week on Ad. And I think, Brock, your thoughts about how are we going to get all the answers next 3 episodes? I think that's how we get the Ad next week.
Yeah. And
all the answers are found in the 3 episodes on that planet. Now, I've never seen them, and I don't know anybody who has, so I could be way off, but that's my thought is the only way for them to stick to landing is they have to get to Aden sooner than later. And right now you run the last 3 episodes of home stretch, so I think this is where you can get away with it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think we have to get back to Aden because sorry, I can't remember if it happens in the episode. They don't get coordinates back to Aden.
Yes, they did.
Did they? Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. Oh, right, it's in the thing. Yeah, sorry. Now I remember. Okay, so then, yeah, they are totally going back. It makes sense.
I wonder if the kids are going to get separated.
Yeah.
From each other. Like, because John needs KB.
Yeah, good point. KB can get in there. He needs the kids to get past the robots, the droids. On that.
They might not care. They just want to protect the planet. They'll blow the kids out of the sky.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, maybe.
Will the coordinates get him through the barrier, though? Maybe.
He needs that's why he needs the pirates.
Yeah.
But how do the kids get out through the barrier?
I don't know. They just maybe
the barrier is the barrier like a wall, or is the barrier like just something that cloaks the planet?
I think it's a cloak thing, but I guess maybe it's easier to get out than get in.
Maybe.
Yeah, because like the parents are trying to get a ship off of Aden, and they have to do a whole bunch of things. But if the captain has something to do with that in the past, perhaps the ship itself is allowed to go in and out, no problem.
Yeah.
So
True. Brock, here's one for you from Vermont Mike. The show also reminds me of The Silo.
the Silo, yeah.
Ask me how many times I've watched all those episodes of The Silo.
The Silo.
Coming back for season 3 and 4. Come back.
Just drop the. It's Silo. It's cleaner. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like Silo is a fantastic series. Haven't finished watching the first season, but I read the entire book and it's just like, whew, that's great. So it's like, yeah, it absolutely has Silo vibes of like what you think is happening is not actually happening.
I think somebody got the showbiz bug.
This is a Rebel Scum cat cast. The cat podcat. It's a podcast. All right, let's wrap it up. Anything else you guys want to say about episode 5 of Skeleton Crew, which I think might be the strongest episode we've gotten so far. And that's not even a knock on the other episodes because I've really enjoyed all of them so far.
I don't know. We all said episode 4 was the weakest, and that was the one everyone loved. So no.
Episode 5 is 5 out of 5 stars for sure. So
yeah, I loved it.
Skywalker's Academy. I think there's going to be a big battle on a spa planet, Lanupa. The Battle of Skull Ridge Mountain, and crabs will save the kids. All right, that's possible. I think, and that goes along with Urkel not being dead, and he's in that shot next week.
Also, the banking clans, they're probably going to call in their people too. So I mean, pirates are going to show up. The New Republic's going to show up. Bounty hunters are going to show up.
Yeah,
the bounty hunter is going to be Boba Fett and Fennec Shand.
Yeah, Fennec Shand's a perfect person to just drop into the series. Like,
I have a feeling we're not going to see anybody we know though.
Mm-hmm.
Again, could be wrong. And I'm all for Din and Grogu, and I'm all, but I just Vermont Mike's name Plagueis. I will come and save the kids. I love this show. Those are my final thoughts on it.
Yeah, can't wait till next Tuesday.
Yeah. We're going to do this show on Thursday night next week. It'll be Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. January 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern, our Ranking Star Wars show is going to happen. Both of you will be on that. Sooner Thrawn will be on it, and Disney Desi will be on that show. And I will tell you guys something. As the younger kids get older, their lists are wild to me as someone who was born in 81. Like, just like, it's like the original trilogy is not held in the same regard as the old folks home would. So I will say the list will be the exact same as last year.
It was funny because you were talking on the earlier show about, and I read a comment, just don't worry about it, just sit back and enjoy the shows. Because you're like, I don't know if this is number one. I don't know if I'm like, the OG trilogy, nobody sat until years later and said, this one's my favorite. They just enjoyed all 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
They didn't think about it. It wasn't until.
And that's what Skeleton Crew is just like that too. We're gonna have to. But anyway, we are doing our ranking show now that Heidi ruined rankings for everybody. 12 p.m. Eastern on January 1st. No, it's gonna be a fun show. Though I haven't finished the list yet. I just got a couple lists today, so I'm gonna put those together. But we'll be here live. We're going live at noon. I mean, it's not really live. It's a fake live. There'll be a live chat if you want to talk along in the chat. I will be sleeping, hopefully. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Heidi, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it as always.
And Brock. Oh, man. I can't. Hold on. You were always scum.
Rebel Scum.
Scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.